So today we will cover these items: replication content, customizing VIB mapping, cutover dates and scope, batch jobs, monitoring. So basically, the data migration or a data replication is working in such a way that, so if you see, this is the success factors cloud technology, which is using by the it is taken care by the SAP system. So all the easy content, the employee profile, job information, all employee profile related stuff was maintained in the success factors EC system, employee central. And with the replication, we are migrating all the org data and employee data to the on-premises SAP HCM system. All the PA info types, all the info types, OM info types will send the we will replicate the data from success factors to SAP HCM system using HANA Cloud integration. So there are many middleware systems available to integrate between the success factors and SAP system. So majorly HCI and PIPO middlewares were used by many of the clients. If you have any doubts, you can interrupt me in the middle.
Yes, yes, sure.
So basically, as per the SAP replication framework designed in such a way that the employee data, when we run the replication, the employee data will sit into relevant PA info types directly. Whereas org data replication, there is another step where it will sit in the staging table for the org replication. Every client, when they started the replication, trying to, I mean, in the initial days of the project, if the PA replication is planned, before that the org data should be available in all relevant OM info types, HRP tables. So first step, as a replication consultant, make sure that all the org objects, position, departments, and the hierarchy, org hierarchy, the cost centers should be available in the relevant HRP tables. So for that, based on the mapping, make sure that it should sit in the HRP tables. For that, as a SAP design, as per the SAP replication framework, the data will sit in the staging table. From the staging table, as a second step, we need to push to the SAP OM info types. So basically, OM has two steps. One is we trigger the program and it will sit into a staging table, and from there, as a second step, we trigger from the staging table, it will sit into OM info types. After updating the all HR tables, we will run the employee replication, whereas the other than info type 1, all the 0, 2, 6, 7, all other info types which are mapped in the employee templates, VIB replication templates, it will sit in the PA tables. As a third step, we will run the employee org assignment, where it will sync between the OM and PA in the info type 1 with the all org data like position, cost center, departments, job key, everything will be updated in the info type 1 in the third step. First step, we will run the org replication, second step employee replication, and then third step employee org assignment, where make sure that all the info type 1 data, all the historic data will be updated in the info type 1. This is the basic high level of replication.
Muradi, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Let's say we are using as a middleware CPI, ACI system. And
Yeah.
so we have said that first we need to push organizational objects in CPI, and
Yeah.
second, employee objects in
Yeah.
CPI, and
Yeah.
third, associations replication will be done and via
Yeah.
CPI, right? And
Yeah.
if you think about the first step, let's say the mapping table, and firstly, and which table should I actually start with the mapping
For the org replication.
for everything? For everything, it doesn't
Okay.
matter, or it's important. I'm just asking.
Okay. So basically, the org replication, when we prepare a template, it will trigger every because the replication framework will work on the change pointers. First, if we, for example, by mistake, you map the position data, and then you updated the position template, and then org template, all the org relations, org objects you maintain, and this template is mapped in the standard replication OM replication program. So if it runs, it will check whatever the templates there in the template group, it will pick one by one. It will go to a department template. Oh, it sees the object ID and the relevant the org unit is mapped to position, and the department is mapped to a parent department. All the relationship it will check. After checking, if it is not there, it will throw an error for the organization department template, and then again it will go to position template under the template group or replication template group. So it will
Mhm.
again check position. Okay, this is a position object ID, and this position is we already uh, there is the relationship maintained in the template with the
Mhm.
department. So it will check, oh, this department is already there in the first step. But first in the first department template, we have a object ID is replicated, and it is trying to replicate the relationships. There is an error with the department to position. It will throw an error, and it will come to second step, and where it will check for the position object ID. Yes, it is replicated, and again it will check the position to department relationship. Here
Mm.
the position, it will, if it is checks the position with the object organized department, in the first step it is already there, so it will maintain. Vice versa, A003 is missing in the first template, and it will success in the second template with the position to department B003. So there is no like a kind of sequence. First we need to maintain position, or we need to maintain a department. It's not like that. It will check one by one under the template group, whatever the templates are created or maintained in the template group. It will sequence wise, it will process, and if it is again, if it is fails, it will pick in the next run. If you run manually, it will verify the template group, and it will try to push all the relationships. It will clear in the consequent consequences the next replication jobs. Can I move on
Okay,
to
I
next
got.
slide?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
You can ask me. You were saying something. This is the question that you asked. So here, departments and the positions. We This is an example. We maintain the relationships and object IDs under the OM relationships. The employee master data first as a second step, we will run the employee master data, and then third step, employee org assignments, where it will sync in the info type one. The department positions will be replicated in the HRP tables, and then employee data will replicate it with the second program, and in the third program it will sync between the info type 1.
Omit creates entries in HLP and yeah, 1001. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And firstly, okay, Murali, my question that first we will, let's say, start with the organizational object first, and let's say we have the department or object position as object and job code, let's say C objects, and
Hmm.
also job code, sorry, cost center key objects. I should start with the bigger one, right? Department, then
Yeah,
position, then
yeah,
job key, then
yeah.
cost center, I think.
Cost centers. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
for
correct.
replication.
And this is the customizing behavior mapping, where I hope you see this screen, business
Yes.
integration builder.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, but I think in the actually last years, BIB is changed and it's called the different name. Am I right? I
BIB,
think BIB is
RBP.
the not RBP. BIB is a standard one, but if we would like to do the custom replication, we are using the different one, or am I wrong? I'm not sure. Just a
No, this is
question.
the standard template we are using from the last 7 8 years. The same path.
Okay,
It
okay.
will under the personal management, we will see integration with the success factors employee center. Under
Mm-hmm.
that, we have a business integration builder. Under that, we have these two nodes, organizational data integration and employee data replication integration. So where
Okay,
this is the node, we will maintain all the org related templates and template groups here.
okay.
Org data integration.
Yeah.
And the second one, employee data integration, where we will maintain all the PA info types mapping. And this one is a baddie one. Really, if the standard replication is not available to replicate the custom uh, info types or custom portlets from SuccessFactors to SAP, we will go to a baddie. We have a functional modules where SAP has given a provision to write a custom code replicating the custom info types and custom portlets. And this is the node where we will import all the metadata. Here if you see import metadata, web service based data transfer from employee central. So here, after maintain the easy instant, like for the enterprise structure, first we will maintain the company, and under that company codes we will maintain, and under that personal areas and personal sub areas as a high level of HCM system we will maintain. Here also, if you start the replication from Employee Central to SAP, we need to maintain a easy instant, one ID. Under that ID, we will maintain these organizational data template groups and employee application template group. So this is a easy instant is plays a vital role to import the data from Employee Central. It will facilitate to map the relevant EC fields with the info type fields. This is a very crucial step. We need to download the metadata from Employee Central, and then we need to download in the local desktop, and we need to import from the local desktop to
Mhm.
this node, so that all the EC fields will be available in the ECPO underscore field table. There is a table where we can map the EC fields to relevant info types and info type fields.
Okay, and Murali, the question that and actually your cursor is everywhere, so I will just ask the in under title of import metadata from Employee Central. As we know, in Employee Central we can download our metadata, which is related with the. And if we change something in EC, like the creating new object or association, we should
Yeah.
upload it again. This is okay.
Yes,
Uh,
that's
but
correct.
there is three actually option. One of them is the web service based data. One of them is the file. One
File
of them
based.
is the yeah,
File based.
file based. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then transport. And so, as far as I remember, I have used the second one, but I would like to know about first and third one as well.
Yeah, normally this web services is even SAP not allowing. I mean, many of the clients, they are not using the web service based data transfers.
Mhm,
Majorly file based transfers only. Everybody, every clients are approaching. Even I didn't
mhm.
see the web service based transfer. Even transports is also, we never tried it,
Yeah. Okay.
because this is very simple. Just download the template and just import into our SAP system. That's a very flexible,
Mhm,
and even we can know what is the existing. For example, ABC already there, so there is a
mhm,
custom table, custom entry was created in EC, and with the import we will able to see, oh, this D is coming. This is a new field after
mhm,
uh, when we click on the test button, test checkbox, and we will
mhm.
see, oh, these are all the new fields that we're going to update in the ECPU underscore field. So we can have an alert, and we can clearly understand what is the existing, what is the new fields are coming.
Okay.
This is
So,
the
you are also using the second option, right?
second one.
File
Yes, correct. File
file
based.
based. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. And also, do you know for the Employee Central payroll is the same structure, right?
Employees
Uh,
under payroll, I couldn't get a chance to work on that module,
mhm,
employees under payroll. But I
mhm.
heard that this is kind of same the import style, import way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And me too as well. And also, this is the actual out of our scope, but and currently, I have actually a system that, actually I'm not actually one-to-one working on it, but there is no employee central one, and just the success factors platform integration they have made the other consultant company have made. We are just supporting right now, and they are Actually, there is no actually any employee central one, and there is no, I think, the any integration middleware like CPI,
Hmm.
and they are just integrated the basic info type, the basic actually fields, and to
Okay.
success factors platform. And
Hmm.
I think they are not using the BIB, I think, because they have said that there is a program, and also the program is sending the file to AL11. I think this is
Okay.
not regarding this actually configuration step, right?
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Microsoft, there is a platform where Microsoft had given a provision that is also kind of sending the data from two systems, SuccessFactors to SAP, but
Hmm.
that is not flexible. I many of the consultants when I given a training, they also said that there are many flaws and many drawbacks. It is
Hmm.
not kind of flexible enough as like BIB. So here we have a lot of provisions like subtypes and the conversion rules.
Hmm.
It is a layman, even a minimum knowledge who has a consultant, they can survive in this BIB, and we can easily troubleshoot where exactly the issue is, what is the value which is coming from success factors to
Hmm.
SAP. That kind of flexible given in the BIB. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Even many of the clients were also moved from Microsoft. There is a one name I forgot actually.
Hmm.
uh, that is also they are also not satisfied with the service and the troubleshooting methods in the MS. They are converting, they are migrating to SAP using a
Hmm.
HANA Cloud and with the standard application framework. Yeah.
I got you. I got you. Thank you.
So moving on to next slide. So here, this is the notes I'm just want to highlight. Define filters for organizational data application. So here we can filtering out. For example, the department is a field in success factors. We can convert that department to organizational unit as per the SAP. So we can filter out. We can mirror out whatever the the employee central objects and with the relevant SAP org objects. So here
Hmm.
we can have an option to filter out or mirroring out the all the org objects before going to the actual template groups, template mapping. So here coming to employee data integration. So here we have a define employee data settings for employee central instance. So in the initial discussion, I told you that we need to create a employee central instance. It is like one ID where we will move on to the consequent steps, mapping to
Hmm.
the template groups, and under the template groups we have a templates. Under the templates we have a different mappings, conversion rules, value mappings. So this is the main first step. We need to create an employee central instance, and the additional employee central uh, entities like in EC, we have a portlets like job info portlet, national ID national ID portlet, and the compensation portlet. So every portlet is defined in the entity. There are SAP provided web services. WS underscore 4 is a job info portlet, and the WS underscore 5 is the org data portlet. And the compensation, we have a different portlets which were tagged to different EC entities. That is a standard designed standard configuration which was given by SAP system. SAP. This is the node where we will see the relevant portlet with the relevant EC entity. So while configuring all the info types or EC fields, we use these entities under templates, so that will facilitate to integrate between the both systems. And this is the third step where define relationship types for managers. This is we never used this. This is an option they had given. I never used this. And normally we will go to a fourth step only, define field mapping for the employee data, where we will actual configuration comes into picture here. The fourth step, fourth node. After this, I will show you the actual system and do a detailed configuration steps from them. And this is the fifth step, filtering EC entities for migration employee center to EC based on country. So this is a provision where SAP given that if you want to replicate, have an employee base in US, UK, Australia, and many countries, and I don't want to implement the replication to US, I can control here. I can have a control to only replicate the data on a country base. So I will select US and UK. I will ignore Australia. It will not touch based on the EC entities defined in the second step. So it will check the countries, the employee base. For example, in US we have 100 employees and UK have 50 employees. In the EC, under the job info, we have a company countries. So this will the fifth step will check. Oh, in this node, they want to implement US and UK. They didn't mention Australia, so we need to replicate only those countries from the success factors to SAP. We have an option here. We'll maintain the countries and it will pick it up based on the, yeah, here this is the sixth step where we can create a template group. We'll name it like migration from EC to SAP, and we will name it one template group. Under the template group, we will maintain all the templates.
Yeah, yeah. This is for replication, right? Not the migration.
This is a purely replication, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And yeah, after the template groups, we will go to parameters for the employee data, master data, or assignment query. So where here we will have a control. For example, the client is replicate only the employees in the EC side. When the employee profile is created, this particular employee is a contractor or a regular employee. So we have a date. We need to give a parameters in EC, and then here also they have given a provision to control. The clients want to replicate the employee data only. They want to ignore all the contingents or contract workers. We have an option. If you select the employees, only employee data will replicate from SuccessFactors to SAP. Because if you select employee and contingent, it will replicate all the data. If you have only, if you want to replicate only employee, then it will, based on the selection, it will replicate from EC to SAP.
I see. This is a really nice actual opportunity. You have mentioned that some group of employee we can actually put the out of
Control.
scope for the replication. That's great.
Yeah.
And Murali, your mouse cursor is actually multiplex. Is that possible to? Because I'm not actually see your mouse on which configuration step.
Okay. Now.
Still the same.
Okay.
I can.
Now you will able to see
Yes,
the, okay.
but
So the
still
parameter,
the same. Still multiplex.
you're still not able to see my mouse.
I'm able to see, but too much actually. Too much cursor in there.
Let me hold for a second. So now I am at define constant for the employee data replication from EC based on the VIB.
Okay, I can actually watch the video. This is okay. And which step we are able to separate it based on the employee group?
That is define parameters for employee
Hmm.
master data and organizational assignment query. So in this we have many parameters. The 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 employment status, we also having a provision. And if you want to replicate the employee groups also, we will put it a comma. And we
Mhm.
will maintain, if you want to replicate only one two regular employees and the standard workers, that is also we have an option here. Those, there are so many parameters we can define here.
Mhm.
And even company codes also, if you want to replicate only 1000, let us say it's a US based company code, you can put it a 1000. And you don't want to replicate the 1100, you can ignore.
Mhm.
You don't want to maintain here, and you can maintain 1200 also, based on the country, based on the company codes. the employee data will replicate from EC to SAP
Mm-hmm.
under this parameters for employee data, employee master data.
Okay.
And the next step, the constant, where the constants will pick comes into picture is, for example, the EC has different fields and different values. For my requirement, I maintained the data for let us say one particular standard field value. Example, I have the national ID. National ID is a field that is a mandatory field. Other than
Mm-hmm.
that, the reason for resignation, there is a custom field that should require to replicate into a custom info type. That is the requirement. So we will map the EC field to a info type, and particularly info type field. Whatever the value which is coming from success factors, it will update as a constant into the SAP info type. That is an example. For example, client is requesting, or the requirement is like, whatever the values are there in the success factors, that should maintain one single constant to all the employees in the one particular info type. We will
Mm-hmm.
select the info type, and under the info type, we will select the info type field, and we'll choose the EC field. For
Mm-hmm.
example, and I run the replication, the employee has a one particular value. It will check, it will verify. Oh, this is a constant table where it is maintained for this particular EC field. It should convert to a constant, and it will replicate to a standard info type or a custom info type with replication. This is an example. I will show you live examples also using
Mm-hmm.
this note. I hope you understand.
Yes, yes, I understand, and but I think I need the mapping Excel, and also I
Yeah,
have the mapping Excel. And as far as I remember, Morally, for the national ID, I mean 770 info type. As far as I remember, national ID is the standard field. I
standard field.
have
Yes.
yeah, I have successfully replicated, but the other fields, like father name, mother name, or it actually depends on the country for sure. In
Um,
Turkey, we are using the 770.
mm,
So for the custom one, actually I couldn't do that. I have just say to client this is a standard one, and I recommended to do that the standard one, and that's all. And I have no information about the custom field mapping. So if we go over the in the system or in the slide which is the standard fields, which is the custom fields, it will be really great for me. And the
yeah,
same as with
sure.
the education info type. And
Mm.
22 is not, I think, standard for education, standard mapping. So I couldn't do that. But I'm
Uh,
sure that it is possible, right?
yeah, it is possible. Yeah. So I
Mhm,
got while you were discussing, so the employment status is a field. I got one requirement. So employment status is we will maintain different percentage in EC. Whereas
mhm,
while replicating the employment status from EC to SAP, the client is requesting to update this info type 7 with an employment status as a 1. So whatever
mhm,
the percentage that is coming from EC, we will maintain in the constant table. It will ignore whatever the percentage, and it will straight away it will update as an employment status as a 1 as per the SAP standard table in the info type 7. That
mhm,
is an example. So a constant is covered, and define organizational structure entity for constants in BIB. This one is like, there are hierarchies. For example, I am reporting to A, and A is reporting to B. So org structure is, they want to they don't want to replicate the org structures. I'm reporting to A and A reporting to B. They don't want to replicate this org structure, and they want to maintain a constant. For example, whoever's reporting to A, and A is whatever the reportees are reporting to B, they can define directly, all employees are reporting to B, John,
mhm,
who is the vice president. We can maintain this organizational structure constant with the VP ID, so that
mhm.
it will ignore all the org structures, and it will maintain a single reporting structure. It will ignore all the levels of the in the middleware, and it will update only one person or one structure. I hope you understand. Any doubts here?
Actually, the for I'm just thinking about the constant values. Is that possible to repeat it again for the constant values?
Constants for employee data replication.
Yes.
So we will after maintain this easy field under the info type field in the template under the template groups. For example, I have ws underscore 4 is a EC entity, and I
Mhm.
maintain only employment status. I configured
Uh-huh.
to info type 7 the employment status as per the info type 7.
Mhm.
I updated the template, and under the constant we will choose the whatever the template that we are trying to maintain a constant. It will automatically check this is the if we select the template, under the template whatever the fields that are there in the template, it will identify and it will send a constant value. It will ignore the values which is assigned to EC field, because this constant, this node is basically, it will first verify the template, and under the template what are the field that a client is trying to make a constant. If we run the replication for one employee, and if the employee having an employment status as a percentage like 23 percentage or 30 percentage, so it will verify the template, and under the template, oh, this is the employment status that is coming from EC. We should convert to a constant, and it will update to info type 7.
Yes,
So
I
basically
see.
uh, this is
I
the
see.
there is a connection with the template, so that identify, and this is also define exceptions compound employee API query. So here we have exemptions. This is a kind of we can give exemptions to particular info types. I don't want to replicate info type 7. We can maintain here. We can maintain the info type, and it will not replicate. It will not consider the info type 7, and it will update other rest of the info types. This is kind of exemption. And this step define filtering of info type and subtypes for employees. This is where all the uh, info type 14 additional payments, and they have so many subtypes like a variable bonus 0001 0002. There are so many subtypes. For example, 34 is a contractual info type, and under the contract we have a regular contract, and the 6 months contract. There are so many subtypes. We can filtering out by choosing info type, info type and subtypes, so that for example, in the success factors we have a drop down that is called a pick list. Pick list have so many drop downs, and a client is don't want to replicate all the pick list. There are 10 pick lists for additional payments. Let us say they have a variable bonus and year-end bonus and personal allowance. There are so many subtypes, and we can filtering out only replicate the variable pay and personal allowance. And they have in the easy side they have claims for mobile allowance. Though they don't want to replicate those mobile allowance, only specific to a few subtypes that they want to update in the info types. So we can filtering out here with the info types and subtypes. I hope
Okay,
you understand.
I got yeah, yeah, I understand, but I'm really hard to see. Let me share the in the WhatsApp. I'm just
Uh-huh.
keep on track, but I
Okay,
think this
okay.
is, yeah, regarding with the.
We covered the defined filters for info types and subtypes. I hope you understand this last step. And this one define decision tree for organization structure entry. I'm still I'm not sure. I never used this node. And I can explore and give it to the information. Last but one, define decision tree for organization structure entry.
Also, I didn't actually use before, as far as I remember. Might be
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can be related with the custom object or not, like the division, business unit, department. Without of this tree, if we use the any other custom object, might be. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, you know
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You were able to see my screen, no, with the mouse cursor.
You can just
Okay.
say the name, and I can after actually recording, I can keep the with name. This is okay.
Okay. And this the last step, restrict employee master data to certain countries. That is already covered in the previous node. We can restrict this particular countries. For example, US, UK. You can have the Molga country coding, and if you select
Mhm,
this country, and it will not replicate those particular employees. It will not consider. It
mhm.
will ignore. And move on to next slide. This is the sample template that I captured in the screenshot. This is, let me know once you were able to see the clear picture.
Yes, I got the screenshot right now.
So this is the sample template, ws underscore om underscore dep. This is the standard EC entity given by SAP. Under this, they also given us some standard mappings. We need to cross verify. Okay, this is required. This suffice for our configuration or not. We can cross verify, and we can save the configuration, or we can modify the standard configuration. Example, here for the department, they have mapped the parent department with the relationships A002 with the SOB ID, and the cost
And
center code is also mapped.
Murali, so sorry for interrupted you, but how can we reach this actually mapping table?
This table that in the previous screen, in the organizational data integration, we have a defined field mapping for organizational data. So here, how we are defining the employee master data. Here also you can see define field mapping for employee data. Similarly, we have a define field mapping for organizational data. If you
Mhm,
click on that, you will reach to this node. So here, based on the mapping, based on the employee metadata, we can able to select the EC field, and the field description is already there in the tag to that particular EC field, and we need to select the info type mapping. We have a
mhm,
baddie mapping. We have an options, info type
mhm,
mapping, baddie mapping. We always select the info type, and we will enter the relevant info type. And if it is a kind of subtype, we want to replicate it to subtype, we will select the
mhm,
subtype, and
mhm,
whatever the relevant is info type field, we will select it. So here, in the organizational, subtype is nothing but relationship. That's why we will maintain the relationship. If we see in employee replication, we will select the, for example, if you want to replicate to info type 14 payments information or additional payments, we will select the subtype of the additional payments, and we'll select the info type waste type. Let us say
mhm,
waste type. And
mhm,
even in the, for example, communication info type,
mhm,
we will select the employee user ID as a EC field,
mhm,
and it will give the description. And in the mapping mode, we will select the info type mapping, and we'll select the info type as a 105 0105. And in the
mhm,
subtype, we will select a 0001 for a user ID as a info type field. And similarly, if you want to replicate a email ID, we'll select the email ID as a EC field, and the same info type mapping, and info type 0105, and subtype as a 0010 as a
mhm,
email ID. Email ID is a subtype for info type 105, and we'll select the email ID. So automatically, the relevant EC field will verify. It will pick the value, and it will push to relevant info type and subtype. That is employee PA replication mapping, and this is the OM replication mapping. Here I have captured a department and position, and here position template is already captured with the corporate title, position title. Position
mhm,
title is a S text. We need to maintain S text so that
mhm.
the text value will consider, and it will update to info type
Mhm.
1000 for the info type, for the
Okay.
position.
And also, Murali, is this actually possible for you to just summarize the relations like A002 is showing us between department and position, something like that. Is that possible to actually? I need to remember that these
Yeah.
relationships. What is the
Okay.
A002? Yeah, what was the
Sure.
class like?
Sure. Sure. I will. And not till now I didn't paint it, but I will prepare an Excel sheet. I will give it to you so that it will
Okay.
easy for you to. Oh, this
Yeah.
is relationship for the department to parent department, and cost center is A011. So
Mm-hmm.
always this relationship is a standard. It will not vary. It will not change. Correct.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you have
Exactly.
a kind of Excel sheet, that will easy for you and understand. I will share it with you. So this is the standard the OM template, and if you see transformation template group. So this is the naming that we need to maintain migration EC to SAP. Based on our convenience, we will name it. Under
Mm-hmm.
this template group, we have a many templates. If you see, template group is similar, migration EC to SAP, and here also template group is same. Whereas there is a under this template group, we have different templates for department, and this is for position. We will maintain different templates under the template group. So similarly for PA, we will create one template group. Under the template group, we have a template for info type 0 and info type 105, info type compensation related. Will based on our convenience, we will change the name. Info type, dependent info types, or a national ID, personal IDs, info type. We can name it based on our convenience with
Mm-hmm.
the different templates under
Mm-hmm.
template group. So move on to next slide. So I told you this is the transformation template group. If you see address is an easy entity which is given by SAP as a WS underscore 10, and the annual salary. This is also a pay component annual salary that is tagged to WS underscore 12. So we will select the EC entity, and under the EC entity, we will able to see whatever the portlets that are there in the EC side. We will see all the relevant EC fields, and if you go to the templates, we can have an option like, oh, this EC field should map to this particular info type, and this particular EC field we will maintain there. It will enable to proceed further with the configuration in the templates, in the transformation templates. And here also we have an option to ease active. For example, before going to go live, I don't want to replicate the, for example, bank information is already there, but I don't want to replicate it. We can
Mm-hmm.
unselect it. Based on the selection, we can transfer the data from EC2. Here country specific biographical information is there. Here is a China, France, Germany. There are country specific fields. For example,
Yes.
for US, there is a veterinar, a nature of the business. There are so many fields based on the country wise. We can map it in the custom. So this is the overview of the templates, the template group,
Mm-hmm.
and we have an option to active. Is it active or not? Based on the selection, it will consider the mappings and it will push the data. If you
Mm-hmm.
unselect it, it will not touch. It will not touch the
Mm-hmm.
mapping under the template.
This is okay. And also we will go over the standard mapping list. I think it will be better clear. And
Okay.
also this table morally, and we are able to reach with the,
This
let me see the,
define field mapping for employee data.
yes, exactly.
If we select it, we will see, we will come to this stage. Under, if you select any of the, for example, address WS underscore ECSAP, if you select it, you will see, for example, here there is a WS underscore 4 job information template. Under that, we have so many, that is a big portlet. You will see major EC fields, and you can map it to relevant info types.
Mm-hmm.
WS underscore 4 is the EC entity, and this is a job information template. It is nothing but job info portlet in EC. So under this, so many company, contract and date, cost center, IT user. There are These are all the EC fields you can see in the EC side, and you will
Mm-hmm.
get using a metadata, and it is provisioned. It is give a provision to map to the relevant info type. You can select the mapping mode as an info type, and select the info type, and it will go to works as an info type or info type field. For info type 1, go to info type 1 with the works field.
And so if we go into the VS4, we will see this actually field, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Ask about the organizational actually web service one. And in Employee Central, you know that actually my exact question that how can we map the manager data? It can be the position manager or department manager, and how can we actually configure this in HR sites? And also I have the question regarding with the Employee Central site, but I can discuss with the other trainer. But for the HR site, and let's say we would like to replicate both the department manager and the position manager in our organizational schema.
Because one point is clear that we don't have a position manager. Only department head is there. Every department has a head. Head of the department,
Hmm.
we call it.